Hi guys, my name is Trinity, and if you are here, you're here to celebrate the fact that we hit 200 subscribers. And how am I going to celebrate this? How are we going to celebrate this? Obviously, the channel that is full of unpopular opinions, I'm going to be reacting to your unpopular opinions. I figured that would be fitting since that is generally why people come here. And there are some controversial ones, and there are some that hurt my heart just a little bit. Let's go ahead and get into it. This one was via one of my friends from Discord. The Name of the Wind is so overrated. It is extremely annoying that it implies that something is happening in the present, but all you get is Kavoth's past. He's also an annoying character, and I wasn't particularly mind blown by the prose either. As you guys know, I love The Name of the Wind. I love Kavoth. And yes, this is an unpopular opinion, but it's not as controversial as you would think. I hear a lot of people say that they don't like Kavoth, and as far as the prose goes, I feel like everything you read, you're gonna decide for yourself what you think good prose is. But The Name of the Wind does have excellent prose, but I can see why it wouldn't be to everybody's taste. All right, and another Discord friend here. The Sword of Kaigan is overrated, gets boring after 60%. A lot of it is fancy prose, and the action scenes, which are great, are far too little, yet the whole book community write it because they don't want to be honest for fear of being in the minority. Oh, I won't tell you who said that, but yeah, I can see this person saying that. I have to agree. A lot of people can't admit that most of this book is bad. I did end up liking The Sword of Kaigan at a 3.5. I don't think it's anything great. And I landed at a 3.5 after the ending of this book. Well, and I can't even say the ending is bad. The way it actually ends is bad. But yeah, I have to say that I do think that it is quite overrated. I don't think it's anything great. And part of my reason for saying that is I didn't like the book until about the halfway point. And then I didn't really like the book until about 3/4 of the way through. That doesn't make a good book to me. It just doesn't. So, I mean, like I said, I ended up liking it, 3.5. Not a bad rating, but I do think it is a little overrated. Here are some bookish opinions from another one of my online friends. And this person DM'd me because they didn't want to offend anybody in the Discord that we are a part of. I hated Addie LaRue. I hated her. The story, her devil, her love interest. I saw no point in this story. Nothing happened, and Miss LaRue was dumb as bread. As you guys know, I am not a fan of V. Schwab. I love her ideas, hate her execution. So I can't vouch to Addie, but this isn't the first time I've heard this criticism. I do have to say that most of BookTube loves Addie LaRue, but I'm never gonna read it, so I can't say. Same with The Girl on the Train, boring AF and so stupid. Whining characters. Oh, so The Girl on the Train has been... Oh no, I read that one. Didn't I? Yes, I read that one. Yeah, whining characters, I can see that. There's a lot of poor pitiful me done in that book. I think I did end up liking it because I do like stories with unreliable narrators. And her being an alcoholic kind of lent towards the unreliable narrator aspect of the book. And so I think I did end up liking that one, but I think I gave it like 4 stars. It wasn't like a 5-star read for me or anything. Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn. Read when you want to fall asleep. I've read a lot of thrillers, but that one was just a lame story. I'm going to agree. I think the story was trash. I think the plot line was just dumb. And I think a lot of people only like that book because it has so much shock value. So much shock value. And so, yeah, like I have to agree. Same person, by the way. Their message was very long. The last sentence, though, says, I did not like The Blade itself by Joe Abercrombie. I was really bored, but I read it in 2015. Would be interesting to see if my tastes have changed. So if you guys don't know, I'm not a character-driven reader at all. I actually kind of hate character-driven books. And it's not that I think the books are bad. I really don't think the books are bad. I just cannot get into them to save my life. Like it takes a lot from a character-driven book for me to be even interested. I did like The Blade itself, though. I think that one I gave a 4-star, which I ended up at a 4-star because I was really lacking plot. So I think the rest of the writing, though, I would definitely give a 5-star, but there's no plot in this book. So to me, there's no story. And I think, isn't that the purpose of writing a book? To tell a story? So I do see why a lot of people cannot get into Abercrombie because he is 100% fully character driven in all of his books. There is no plot. And I say that one of my friends has convinced me that if I like it, there must be some plot. So there has to be some underlying plot in The Blade itself because I like it. And I can see how it could be construed that way. This is a fun one. I can't read Brandon Sanderson without seeing all of his heroes as NRA good guys with guns, particularly Mistborn and its follow-ups. I don't know exactly what that means, but yeah, kind of redneck, hillbilly-ish type characters. I can definitely get on board with that, especially Mistborn. Yeah. Oh, this one's harsh. Since I've recently seen this book being promoted, Fate of the Fallen is probably the worst book I've read in 10 years. So I have not read this book, but the Shelf Space Discord did read this book, and I will link their live show down below for Fate of the Fallen. This is kind of, I'm not going to say this is a consensus because I don't think anybody trashed it in that video, but there's a lot of people who don't like Fate of the Fallen, and so maybe this is not necessarily an unpopular opinion, but I do think that this book is fairly divisive. And I know when you get into irreverent characters, be it Fate of the Fallen or Kings of the Wild, you're gonna have people who don't like it because the humor doesn't hit right, or, you know, the plot didn't go exactly where you thought it was gonna go. Any of those things could be factors. Another one, I don't like Brandon Sanderson's novels. I tried, but he just isn't for me. That's okay. That's okay. This is the one place where you won't be judged for not liking Brandon Sanderson. Because I just don't, I like what I like, you like what you like, and that's cool. I do like Brandon Sanderson, but it doesn't offend me if you don't like Brandon Sanderson. Oh, this one, I actually just commented on this, which it's going to be in a video you guys haven't seen yet, but my unpopular opinion is that the first law is not all it's cracked up to be. It's good, but it's not all that in a bag of chips. Abercrombie can write for sure. He is not punching in the same weight class as Robin Hobb. I disagree. I think that they are equal. And I don't think that one outweighs the other at all. But I have read Assassin's Apprentice, which I did not like. And I've read Ship of Magic, which, spoiler alert, I thoroughly enjoyed. And I have read The Blade itself. And I think The Blade itself is definitely better than Assassin's Apprentice. But I think they do the same exact things equally well, but the humor that Abercrombie is able to pull off is better, and the lore that Hobb is able to pull off is better. So it's really going to depend on where your tastes lie and what you like. Oh, this I found super interesting. This is kind of cheating because I had to be convinced of this from another booktuber who will go unnamed, but Brandon Sanderson, not that good at world building. He has good world building ideas, but he doesn't carry the work of showing the full implications of those ideas in the world. Yeah. After I saw this, I had to sit down and think about it. But yeah, so this is a problem of show, don't tell. And many times Sanderson likes to tell instead of show. And so we never get to see these things that are alluded to many, many times. And I had thought about this too after reading Robin Hobb and the amount of lore and backstory she pours into her books versus Brandon Sanderson. And I think it's going to depend on how you like to read, whether or not you care about this aspect of Brandon Sanderson's writing. But I think I have to agree. Now, has he built something great with the Cosmere? Yes, I still agree with that too. But I have the problem of him telling and not showing. And I think this hits the nail on the head of why I don't like the Stormlight Archive. Wheel of Time is overrated. My friend, you are in the right place. Malazan is too long. Game of Thrones should have been finished in 5 books. Yeah, obviously this is a follower of mine because that's kind of my exact views. But yeah, I can't even say that I think The Wheel of Time is overrated because I've read 2 of the books. The 2 that I've read, I've thoroughly not enjoyed. And Malazan, I refuse to try because of everything that's told to me. I know I'm going to hate them. And I'm going to hate them with a fiery passion. So, but Game of Thrones, I read 1 book and was done. I'm like, this is just too much. I can't handle it. But yeah, I think George R.R. Martin is very long-winded, and that's why I didn't like the first book. Is the first book Game of Thrones? I think it is. But yeah, Song of Ice and Fire, it's way too long. Malazan's way too long. And yeah, I have to say Wheel of Time is overrated. And like I said, I've only read 2 of them, but 2 was more than enough. I am never going to read The Dark Tower. I'm sure this is a comment made because they saw that I was reading The Gunslinger. I'm not continuing with The Dark Tower. That's all I have to say about that. My unpopular opinion is I adore slow books and I will shovel all of them into my mouth. Also, the fact that some people say slow when they mean to be insulting to a book never sits right with me. When I say slow, I never mean it as an insult. I just mean I couldn't get into it. And so I think, like, this person obviously is going to be on the opposite end of the spectrum from me, because I hate slow books. I can't do it. But that is because my brain has a hard time processing it. If you guys haven't been here very long, I have ADHD, and slow books, I will drift off into space. Like, my brain says, nah, fam, we ain't doing this. But if you like slow books, there are plenty of books out there for you. And I would highly recommend, like, Northern Wrath. There's plenty of books out there. The Davabad trilogy, go for it. Wheel of Time. Actually, I do know that this person is a fan of Wheel of Time. So yes, there you go. Unpopular book opinions. Here are some. Assassin's Apprentice was one of the most boring books I've ever read. Yeah, it was. Name of the Wind is the most overrated book. Oh, and Dragon Mage is garbage. I haven't read Dragon Mage, so I wouldn't know if I thought it was bad or not. But Name of the Wind, quit hating on Kavoth. No, I'm just kidding. This is Unpopular Opinions, and I don't know that I would consider it overrated. I think probably over talked about because of the prose in The Name of the Wind. But I love Kavoth. I can't get over it. Again, guys, he's on my wall. If you guys haven't seen my library tour or my earlier videos, I do have Kavoth on my wall. Okay, I've not read Wheel of Time and doubt I ever will. I might do Malazan at some point, but it's not exactly a priority. Yeah. I won't do Malazan. So, but an unpopular opinion is definitely to not like Wheel of Time. Obviously, these are people that follow me, so the Wheel of Time, Malazan, A Song of Ice and Fire, these are all going to be mentioned as unpopular opinions because and like I said before, I'm like unpopular opinion central. So a lot of these I'm agreeing with. Okay, and last but not least, this is something I stand by wholeheartedly. It is okay to DNF a book you are not enjoying. Yes, put the book down. You don't have to finish it. I have heard it said, life's too short for bad books, you know. And even if the book's not bad and you're not liking it, put it down. You don't need to read it. You don't have to read it. But I am also the queen of DNFs. So I have DNF'd 16 books this year, and that number is likely to grow. But never feel bad about DNFing. Never feel bad about not liking a book. These are all things that are going to be subjective. And I've DNF'd books because I just wasn't in the right frame of mind for it at that time. And I've DNF'd books because they just weren't to my taste. I have a tendency to DNF character-driven novels, like The Book Thief. Good books. Like, I know that they're going to be good books, but I am not going to enjoy them. So I do have a tendency to DNF those types of stories, and I never feel bad about it. I don't feel bad about it. But that is it for my unpopular opinions. Now, Because we have reached 200, I have promised that I would do a giveaway. And if you want to partake in the giveaway, just like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure that you have a Twitter, because I don't have Instagram, if you want to partake in this. That way you can message me and give me a link to your Amazon wish list, and I will buy you a book if you win the contest. Like, subscribe, do all the fun things, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!